Hey squaddies, and welcome to Thriving with the Sussexes. My name is Deanna, and I'm here to report on all things Sussex. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now let's get on with it. Hey squaddies, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening whenever you're listening. Hello. Be sure to check out memberships. You can join if you're interested. And just like with all my information, I'll put it in the description box. Thanks. And a huge shout out to the beautiful Black Queen. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super thanks. I truly appreciate your generosity and happy holidays. So volume 1 is started off as an introduction to the beautiful couple. And we also got the opportunity to view never before seen images and videos of the couple. It just felt so exclusive. And I wanted to quickly add that I think that it was incredibly smart of Harry and Meghan to document everything. It just shows how just smart and intelligent they are. They are Harry and Meghan, and the Sussex squad. They have receipts as well. So, it's nice that they're incredibly smart to keep the receipts. They have their photos, they have the documents, they have everything. Just like the Sussex squad, they have the screenshots, have the documents, they have the videos, and so it all comes together. It's a beautiful circle, and I love that. Yeah, God bless Harry and Meghan, and God bless the Sussex squad. Just a bunch of smart, intelligent people. I love to be a part of this group. I really do. I really enjoy it. It's a privilege. Okay. I can go on and on for you guys, but I'm here for the commentary. I've been watching this again. I love. I think this is my please don't judge me. This is my 8th time watching this. So I'm watching it, and then I'm going to be commenting on everything. I'll press pause and then talk. This is what I've been doing. Yes. So yeah, Harry, Meghan, they document everything. They got photos, videos, legal works, you name it. They got everything. They're smart people. So and because Harry knows his family. I should say his family across the pond, his welfare family. He knows his welfare family, and he knows how they roll. They will do any and everything to silence people who speaks against them, against their lying establishment. Unfortunately, his mother and others were, unfortunately, they were met with the outcome on speaking. So in case something does happen, God forbid, everybody will know who to look at, because they may have gotten away with it in 1997, but they certainly won't get away with it in 2022 and beyond. And if the British media tries to cover for that family, the rest of the world would definitely be on their necks until they follow suit. We've seen the world's opinion on those welfare rolls, and it's hard to respect them people. Now, Harry and Meghan, their story started off wild. I like using that word wild, so I blame my Gen X friends and family with that. So wild. That's cool. I'm saying wild now. So wild. So yeah. Anyway, Meghan, I guess before this day started, she and her girls, they started to have this girl summer, just hanging out, having fun all over Europe. I call this the AKA hot girl summer. Hot girl summer to me, it's my definition of hot girl summer is having fun with your girlfriends, eating all the yummy foods and drinking all the yummy drinks and dancing the night and day away, flirting with the cute guys and just keeping it moving. So if anyone got offended by me saying hot girl summer, please don't. You heard my definition and you understand what I meant, right? We're on the same page. And of course, Harry had to be the plot twist. And what's even more wild is that Harry and Meghan, quote unquote, met on Instagram, because with the pictures and everything. But I guess he saw her um, Snapchat picture, the Snapchat picture with the doggy. I love those doggy Snapchat photos. I used to use those all the time during that era. So that is so cute. And she makes a cute puppy, doesn't she? Harry was like, oh. But I mean, he lucked out though, because I mean, anybody could have been under that filter. I mean, he lucked out and got a gorgeous, intelligent, confident woman. But who knows? Like, he could have ended up with somebody with a large witch-like crooked nose and with a giant wart on its hip, and looking like Camilla or a Deranger. So yeah, fast forward, they met at the 76th Dean Street, and Harry was late for the date, and I guess it all worked out because they met up again the next day, I think, the next night, I guess, and they liked each other so much that they decided to have this really secret, cute, long distance relationship, and like they did little video chats, and talking on the phones for hours, and all that good stuff. Probably like text messaging each other and sending cute like filter pictures, like, with the doggy or maybe cat, whatever. Like, those cute pictures that they have. Whatever platforms they use. They probably did like some little cute exchanges. And that's that. Happy hour. And then I guess like in this next scene, I guess like if flash back to Harry's beginnings and his earliest memories of his mother, Diana, and the overwhelming paparazzi. And I'm going to add that Harry was such an adorable baby and child. And early on, he knew that the paparazzi wasn't crap. He got to witness that through his mother. So, and then like the scene after that, they were, I guess it went deeper, like way further back, like into the 50s. Or whatever decade that was when his grandmother Queen Elizabeth was like a queen or whatever, or I don't know. So yeah, it went back to like the history of the monarchy and the urge to remain popular by doing these little silly little royal visits and these engagements, I guess, to keep these people like, hey, we care about you, when they don't when they don't. I said what I said. And yeah, so yeah, they were doing these little silly PR photos, smiling and waving, doing the occasional struggle hip dance, and Harry was clearly never a fan, since he was fully aware of these paparazzi is always overstepping their boundaries. I guess their response was like, "We own you. There is no such thing as boundaries." So he's never a fan of it, and it was just also suffocating, and I mean it was just crazy. It was so crazy that Diana had to just step in and just flat out tell these strange grown men to lay off from the children. I mean, and it's sick that these individuals don't have enough dignity or respect to respect her wishes. I call that predatory behavior. So yeah, as I mentioned before, Harry and Meghan had a long distance relationship. They got to know each other even more and more over time, and of course, they fell in love naturally. Now, I think that they were already in love, but they were just wanted to get to know each other. But as I mentioned, Harry and Meghan, their relationship, it came naturally. It was beautiful and natural. Like, he didn't have to constantly break up with her and then get back with her just to break up with her again so that he can, date other women to see if there are better options. His preferred options, his preferred options, and then have this woman wait for him. Like, I mean, I don't even see Meghan being that girl anyway. She would not wait for no man. Like, just get back with her, dump her, see him with dating these other women, kissing these other women, getting with these other women, while she's just standing there looking like a freaking idiot. No, she would. That's not her thing. That's not her personality. But she didn't have to worry about that because she was Harry's only option. And yeah, as they're recording, they found out that they had a lot in common. They have similar views in the world, similar, just similar views on everything, technically. Sorry about that. I saw my fireplace popping and it kind of freaked me out a little bit, but it was okay. So yeah, as I was saying, Megan was his only option, and you know, everything just worked out for them naturally. And speaking of the word naturally, Harry, he after losing his mom, he didn't get to mourn, the natural way person's supposed to mourn. He couldn't like open up or anything. It seemed like in that cold family, and he just pretty much bottled everything in, which is incredibly unhealthy. And it explains why so many of the family looks the way they do. They got all these secrets and all this stuff holding in, and it's not good for the body. So yeah, he didn't have that support system with his father or brother or just anybody in that family. Like, I'm pretty sure people like judged him, like, oh, pit up and shut up, you know. And then the paparazzi, they didn't exactly help either. Like, just went crazy, overstepping their boundaries once again, and just started, just keep poking the bear, just keep messing with this kid over and over again until he finally snapped. Rightfully so. I would have already snapped, but thank goodness he was sent to South Africa. He met Prince Sesu of Lesotho and was working alongside him, and spending a lot of time and spending so much time with the people from the country. And that's when he found himself, and his purpose, as well as growing into a man. And they named him Mahali, which means warrior. So Prince Harry is not only our Prince of Hearts, he's not only the people's prince, he is also, and good King Harry, he's also the people's warrior. So when Harry invited Meghan to Botswana after 2 dates, she said yes. And no cell phone reception. And forgive me mentioning, they must really like each other, right? No. That's love. And of course, they spend so much time together. It was beautiful. I thought that was just amazing. Just to be away from everybody, just to be under the stars with that just person that you love and in love with, and just love that. That's beautiful. I can't even speak the words on it. It just I could feel that. It's gorgeous. So yeah, and of course, they got Meghan, to making up this 2-week rule thing. No matter where they are, they're going to see each other every 2 weeks. Since they're a long distance, and they did their part. They saw each other, and they having a beautiful secret relationship until after the Halloween party. So then, in episode 2, we were introduced to Doria, Meghan's mother. Doria, she's so beautiful and just so classy and just so poised. And she's glad to get her side of the story. She told Meghan that this whole thing is about race. Of course, Meghan didn't want to talk about it, but Doria, she kept it real, and she says she wish she can go back in time and talk about the whole race thing and how people will view you no matter what skin color you are, because you can be as white as Prince Harry, or you can be as dark as it's this gorgeous supermodel. I forgot her name. I'm gonna put her picture on here, but you can be as dark as her, and you'd be treated the same because you have black in your DNA. I'm going to include her picture on here, and I'm going to have her name, but just absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, it doesn't matter what shade you are. The racist person is just going to be racist. So can't deny that. And you have to be prepared for when that happens, unfortunately. And it looks like Meghan, I guess Doria haven't had that talk with her, so because the whole colorism thing. Like, if we go back to that, like I remember Meghan talking to Mariah Carey about not being treated like a black person, really, because of her skin complexion. But compared to Halle Berry's view, she's treated like a black person because her skin is darker. Um, so that plays a role in it as well. Oh, and I'm not saying Doria is colorist. She's not. I'm just saying, like, how the world, views these type of things. And but a racist though, they're just gonna racist. That's what they're about. So they don't care if you're light, dark, medium, everything else in between. And of course, Meghan shared what the paparazzi does best. They like to be overbearing and just just too much. They had coming into her neighbors' houses, knocking on their doors looking for her, and they had like paid some neighbors to like just plant live streams pointing to her backyard. Just all that just overbearing creepiness of it all. And of course this is most likely after they couldn't find anything negative about her, so they're like, well, we're going to make news and plant live streams to her backyard when we can have a gotcha moment with her. And then she went to the police, and then they're claiming that there's nothing that they can do about it, which, I mean, that had to be incredibly terrifying and annoying because you basically have these stalkers just pretty much stalking you with their cameras and just taking photos and videos and trying to find everything they can about you, just like I said, being overbearing. And a perfect example of this is a woman or whatever trying to report their stalker, whether it could be an ex or just a just strange person that's just stalking her, and they're like, there's nothing we can do about it, and it was like, what? So I mean, that had to be terrifying, especially for a woman who lived alone, and her boyfriend is like halfway around the world. Terrifying. It had to be incredibly frustrating. And moving on from that, we got a glimpse of Meghan's upbringing with her mom. It was the old neighborhood. And she got to be raised by beautiful black women in her family, which played a huge part in Meghan's childhood. She unfortunately had to experience or witness racism through her mother, and she also got to discover her activism regarding Ivory Clear dish soap. Oh, and of course we can't forget about that little shade that young Meghan uh, said to her mom. Said that she felt like her older controlling sister. Hey, it is what it is. So as I mentioned before, Meghan, her mom Doria, mentioned that she wished she had the race conversation with Meghan, and with the whole smear campaign that was out, and Meghan didn't want to talk about it, but unfortunately had to talk about it. And the UK media, they truly went there further than any US paper in our time. Now I'm sure that papers back in the day, like Jim Crow days and before that, they would have like offensive imagery, and expensive headlines. And I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen anymore in America, because it happens, but just not to the extent of the UK media, the British media, I should say. And then you get these weirdos out here that's like, oh, everyone went with Meghan. Ugh, utter BS. That's how history was whitewashed. Like, it was due to people remembering something how they wanted to remember it. No matter how many lies they try to deny it, they're like, oh, that's not what I remember. But yeah, that attack on Meghan, it got so out of hand that Harry had to release a statement condemning the abuse and harassment and racism against the woman he loved. I mean, more people, especially white Brits, need to be called out on the racism BS. It just, people need to call them out. Like, it seems like whenever someone brings up race, it's like a trigger to them. Like, they trigger and they start glitching. It's like they're not really used to people questioning or challenging their racism. So they start like, like just go crazy. and then they try to turn around and say this is racism. No, that's not racism. So yeah, I was very proud of Harry for defending Meghan. He admitted that he thought that he knew a lot about diversity from visiting in many Commonwealth countries. Instead, that was not the case. And he also mentioned that his son and daughter are both mixed race, and he's really proud of it. So, Harry and Meghan are both products of divorced parents. I cannot relate to that at all. Uh, I'm somebody from the outside looking in, and I mean, it depends on the situation, but I think it's like incredibly like sad, like just to go back and forth. Like you spend like Monday through Friday with your mom, and then you spend a weekend with your dad, or every other weekend with the dad, or every month with the dad. Um, I think it's kind of sad, but I mean, people can't stay together for children. I mean, that's toxic as well. You don't want to see your kids, seeing you and your, and their dad in their worst states, But I just think that was sad. I mean, it can be lonely for some children too, as well, and especially since they don't have any siblings. So yes, back to the creepy paparazzi, who are incredibly disturbing. How they just left the island, just to fly over, to another continent, just to just shoot pictures and follow people around, having no other way of living life. They just want to follow you around, take pictures, get the exclusives, and it's creepy. So when the death threat came about, that's when they started taking things seriously. ABC hired security for Meghan, and I'm also glad that they didn't listen to their friends. I'm sure like a lot of people was like telling Meghan, girl, you don't want to do this. He's a great catch, but his family isn't. You have no idea. It's but they kept it together. They stayed together, and they worked things out, and it worked out for them. I find it interesting that Nacho was like one of the first, or probably the first person who found out about Harry and Meghan. Like that tells you a lot about the state of his relationship with that other family over there across the pond. Meghan, like she has this easygoing, friendly, making everybody feel comfortable in a workplace type of attitude. Like so, and she's like that too in real life, like in person, like outside of work. She's so sweet and so nice and just generous and caring, and I mean she's just good person, all of her good person. And besides acting, she will write in op-eds, volunteer in Rwanda, and she was also a UN advocate. So yeah, it's a perfect fit for Harry, and I'm glad that he, like his mother, thought with his heart. So he proposed, and it looked like many people, particularly young people, black, brown, everything in between, but everyone welcomed Harry and Meghan. They're quite popular over there, actually. There's racists over there who hate them, but they have supporters there as well. Well, I mean, I knew that they were there, but I gotta see, some of them when they came back for, his grandmother. So on episode 3, it started off with Harry and Meghan's engagement interview, with a little British royal Wilford Royal script on how they met and all that stuff. That was a stupid story. Like I think the whole Instagram thing would have been cool. It would have been really cute. It's modern and everything like that. It would have worked out. So for them to say, "Oh yeah, we met this way and we did that way and then we did this way," and I was like, okay. I mean, Harry and Meghan's amazing, but whoever gave them that script suck. Okay, they were saying how everyone's happy for them and both sides and la la la. Great family loves her and la 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 la. Just a bunch of phonies in that family. So whatever. Harry and Meghan, cloud nine, happy, beautiful, loving couple. And then there's the Black History portion that's a part of British history. and that many didn't learn much about slavery and all that other than the abolishment of it. It's not familiar. It's like in America, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but like the books that like history books that we had, they came from like they're really nice books and everything, nice imageries and all that stuff, but they came from Texas. And I'm please don't get offended if you're from Texas, okay? You can confirm this because I have family from Texas and they confirmed it to me, but I want to see somebody outside my circle of my family who will say that they changed a lot of stuff in their history books. Pretty much, whitewashing it to make it look, less harsh. Is that true? Because I mean that's how it was in my book. Like they made it so like Christopher Columbus was this like huge hero, and found out that wasn't the case. And I'm not, you know what? There's a lot of people who will probably get offended by some of the stuff I say. So let me just be quiet and keep it moving with this. So, yeah. So I guess many people were a little bit surprised by the Black history, by the Black stories that's associated with British history. Like, I mean, it's like it was a secret or something. Like, so we're going to keep slavery a secret. We're going to have it in the Caribbean, around that area, in Jamaica, and all this stuff, even though it wasn't a secret. But, and then there's the walkabout. I've never heard of a walkabout in my entire life before I got into Harry and Meghan. I was like, what is a walkabout? What does that even mean? A walkabout. Mexican fit a walkabout. So then, oh my gosh, I can hear like music in my head right now. And okay, I'm sorry for hurting your ears, but I can't help it. I have to sing this, okay? Okay, here it is. Let's take a trip into the whole town for a walkabout. A walkabout. Take my hand as we skip along the path of the walkabout. The walkabout. Anyway, it's been confirmed that anyone can be a royal expert or a royal correspondent. So for now, I'm going to call myself Deanna, the royal correspondent or royal expert. No, royal correspondent. That sounds a bit more official. What shall I say? What shall I say? I'll type it under my name. Anyhow, these royal warders are, I guess, they're considered like the top tier royal experts. They get the exclusives, whether or not it's true, at the cost of the taxpayers. So it's like a contract with the devil. That's some toxic sugar honey iced tea. The invisible contract. The British press can make up anything and can be as aggressive as possible without any consequences. Then there's the British press bribing with money. And thank goodness for Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan, most declined to go that route. But unfortunately, it wasn't a case for her father. And getting lied on over and over by a half sister that she barely knew. A half sister that keeps lying that she raised her, which wasn't the case because it wasn't true, I mean, she wasn't even raising her own kids. And speaking of the kids, there is a plot twist. Meghan and Ashley are very close. They're close like sisters. And Ashley is the daughter of that individual I just spoke about, the one who keeps lying on Meghan. And weirdos believing her because it fits their narrative and have excuse to hate her. So yeah, they have a beautiful relationship, but yeah, unfortunately, like the weirdos that they had representing them uninvited this poor woman, and of course Meghan had to call her with the bad news, and it's incredibly sad. Then comes this racist with this brooch acting like she like doing something, looking stupid, and then when people call her out, she's like, saying she apologized, which I'm like, girl, bye. You don't apologize for anything. Your apology means nothing. Especially who your father was hanging around. Your father I mean, you grew up around your father, and you were around the people he associated himself with, and you're about that life as well. So, I mean, at least like Harry, unlike those people, he took accountability for his mistake. He owned up to it like a man, and he took a step further into educating himself and making it right. And that's like one of the reasons why I respect Harry. He's never afraid to show the world that he's human. They spoke more on the toxic, hypocritical British tabloid press, about making up these fake protocol that they never had before, but they invented it. And of course, like that welfare rules aren't going to like correct them about it because it doesn't really affect them. They're racist xenophobes themselves. So why would they go and defend, and correct anything, right? And the so-called communications team for Kensington Palace didn't exactly help anything. Like, I mean, they made things worse to me and intentionally. And move on past that. We're gonna focus on the positive. Those same Commonwealth countries that Harry and Meghan visited, um, the people look a lot like Meghan. You know, a lot of them were people of color, and a lot of them are people of color. And they saw Meghan. She's engaged to the royal family, white British royal family, and they're like, wow, like we finally get a seat at the table. We finally get a piece of that pie. I mean, it was kind of like I don't know how you guys felt, but it was like when President Obama was elected as president of the United States, and it was like, oh my gosh, we finally get to go in the White House. It was it was like that moment in a way. To me, it was. So yes, it was successful. Everything. She was embraced. She was loved. She was becoming an extremely popular figure already, like just instantly. And while having to deal with her disturbing father, who would who went to the likes of TMZ and the Daily Mail. So wrong. So yeah, in my opinion, I think that it was the Harris sister who compromised his phone allegedly, and I can also blame her for the downfall of the relationship between Meg's father and and Meghan herself. But it was all him. He has his he has his own mind and heart. And if he was a true father, he would have wanted to protect his daughter at all costs, and he would have also told the tabloids to f off, but he didn't. So yeah, he failed as a father. So yeah, anyway, the first part of the docuseries ended, of course, with the upcoming wedding, and I look forward to Thursday. I wish it would be here soon, but we have less than 24 hours. And of course, the welfare worlds got themselves looking crazy. Talking about, oh, Netflix never, they never contacted us. But then when Netflix came out, then they changed their tune like instantly. Oh yeah, yeah, they had the receipts. Damn receipts. Bloody Harry! How dare he not American woman to this story when we have our tabloids to do it for them?
And see Meghan look happy with my Harry. My Harry!
Harry never wanted you, so give up that disturbing obsession with him. This is Meghan's fault. Tom, how did you get in here? Netflix is ruining my life, and I blame Meghan.
Meghan ruined my chances of having Harry all to myself.
Meghan took away my wingman.
Meghan took away our dreams.
Ah! How did you get in here? Ignore them. They're derangers. My paid bots. They'll fade away if you ignore them long enough. All of you, out of my office. At once. I'm going to end it there. These welfare royals and their derangers always looking for attention. And since recording this, I just saw the trailers for part 2 of Harry and Meghan's docuseries, and I knew it wouldn't disappoint. I really hope that Harry does go there and expose all of these animals. His brother is one of them. I mean, how do you comfort someone like Diana and end up not like her? Harry is his mother's son, while that other brother is his father's son. So cold, miserable, and aging like bananas on molded bread. Harry and Meghan tried to play nice on the Oprah interview, and in return, there were lies told on Meghan regarding the bullying accusations. And of course, when they didn't have any evidence or proof, since it never happened in the first place, they canned it. I wonder what they're going to do the day or two before this docuseries. It's disturbing how the welfare royals thrive off evenness, oppression, and racism. They're that way due to backstabbing and brainwashing over the centuries. Protecting a philandering man while lying and throwing the spirit's black wife not just under the bus, but to the wolves. So Thursday needs to hurry up already because I'm ready. I'm gonna have my big bowl of cinnamon toast crunch because I just got back into eating cinnamon toast crunch. I sampled it. It's been years since I had it, and it's so amazing. So it's gonna be so worth it eating that while watching this. So, what are you all eating or drinking while you watching this? Because yeah, it's gonna be awesome, or it's gonna be wild. And I hope that your days are all filled with blue skies, sunshines with positive vibes. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Also, join the membership. I have the link in the description box. My name is Deanna, and you were watching Thriving with the Narcissists. Talk to you soon.